Well, hello, everybody. It's your friend James Shaw. Thanks so much for being with us. I'm excited because, listen, I saw these two ladies at Family Reunion, which I trust many of you went to Family Reunion and saw amazing talent. I saw these two agents that have absolutely figured it out. And I think when you look at a market like what we're in right now, if you can apply some of the tactics that these two have applied when it comes to running a successful business, I think you're going to be in great shape. So I'm excited for you to meet them. Bridget, we'll start with you. Will you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, where you're from, and a little bit about your business.
Absolutely. My name is Bridget Tighe. I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I have been an agent for 2 years so far. I'm a solo agent. And in my first year, I did 10 million in business. In my second year, I did 15 million in business. So it's been a very exciting start.
No doubt about it. And of course, Ms. Hunt, you've had a dynamic start to your career as well. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Taley Hunt. I work in Columbia, South Carolina. This year is my third year. So, in my first full year of business, I did $7.2 million in real estate with a baby, with no childcare, and a brand new city and state. And last year, my second full year, I did $23.5 million in real estate as a solo agent.
It's amazing. Oh, I've hit the wrong button. It's amazing. There we go. I've hit the right button about what you all have done. And I'm just so proud of you and honored for you to spend time on the call. All right, Taley, let's start with you because it's you, like you said, you're in a new town. You don't know anybody in Columbia. Well, you know people now, you've sold houses, but you moved there, didn't know anybody. Did I hear it right when the day you sat for your exam was also the day you found out you were pregnant?
Yep, that's right. So right before my exam, I don't know why I thought it was smart to take a pregnancy test, but I did. And I found out I was pregnant with my first and only daughter. I had just moved to the area a couple months prior. This is when COVID was very, rampant and
Yep.
everyone was still locked up in their houses. So I didn't know anyone. I didn't have many in-person opportunities to get to know anyone.
Yeah.
So I just, had to do everything online.
Yeah, you went all in on the socials. So tell us a
That's
little bit
right.
about what you're doing on social media.
Yeah, so I use social media at a very high level. I do not do any other lead generation other than posting on social media and interacting with people on social media. I think that the best way I can describe it is to provide value and create community online to your target audiences, and that's what I do. So I work with a lot of agent to agent referrals, a lot of military families moving in and out of the area. I'm a military spouse myself. So I figured out exactly what I wanted my niche to be, and I just kind of hit the ground running with providing as much information that would be valuable to those people as possible. And it has just made my business grow in a massive way.
You're mostly Instagram and Facebook,
That's
is
right.
my
Yeah.
understanding, and you post a lot. So give us kind of a day in the life of you on social media. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I do post a lot. I actually had someone ask me recently, so what do you do from 8 to 11? And I said, I don't have a strict schedule of, I go in and I post from 8 to 11. It is an all day, everyday thing. So, I get up and I do my work and I go through the day. And during the day, I document, right? I document what I'm doing in my first appointment. I document when I have a closing. I share properties that I'm walking into. And during the day when I have time, I will create content, whether it's, a photo of me with a caption that is really helpful, or like this morning, I was sitting at my desk. And so I put my phone in a tripod and I took a 3 or 4 second video of me typing up an email. And then I put some music to it and wrote a caption on top of it and shared that on Instagram. So I think it's about consistency, posting multiple times a week, if not multiple times a day, and every time you do, provide something that people can learn something from.
I like it. And then you do a lot of interacting though with people as well. So you're commenting on posts,
Yes.
responding on things. What else?
Yeah, so you have to engage to get people to engage with you. So I engage with other people on Instagram and Facebook. I post things that allow them to engage with me. When they comment on my post, I respond. When people post things that are kind of in my niche, I respond to their post in a comment. I'll message them, I'll reply to their stories, I like their photos. So I stay engaged with the content that other people post as well, so that the algorithm will work and my content will constantly be in front of them.
Yeah, well, you're all over my Snapgram. Let me just tell you, when I open my Instagram, you pop up just about every time. So tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram.
You can find me on Instagram at taley.soldit. My Instagram has gotten really big over the last couple years. I think since I first started my Instagram, I have gained about 14 or 15,000 followers. I used my personal Instagram and kind of converted it into a real estate platform. So
Yeah.
I already had a few thousand, and now I have about 23 point something.
It's
So
pretty
it's gotten
awesome.
really big.
It's pretty awesome. I like it. All right, Bridget, let's talk to you. You're getting most of your business around your sphere and really just engaging with the people around you. Tell us a little bit about what you've done to connect with people.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I feel like I'm on the other side of the spectrum where all of my attention and focus is on my network, my sphere, the relationships that I already have. I don't work with many strangers unless they are friends of my friends, and that's kind of my target audience. And it's been working really well for me. It's like absolutely my main focus is just pouring into my sphere because that's who I want to work with and do business with and help people that I know. So that's my main focus.
And you're doing this with 3 littles under 5.
Yes, it's a
So
little crazy.
yeah, so we've got 2 moms here. Between the 2 of them have 4 kids under 5 years old, right, that are going all at it, building great businesses and making it work. This is the thing. It doesn't matter. We're a one and done, right? So I got an 11-year-old, and doesn't matter you got 1 or 73. You got to be able to balance all the different things around the business. And I hear a lot from people. How do I make it all work? So Bridget, how do you make it all work?
So this is why I love this job so much is I just want to align my work with my life and things I like to do. And in real estate, you can do that perfectly. So my life is a series of micro events. I think the best way to like phrase it is like everything I go to is for work, but also for fun. So if I'm at a ladies' night, if I'm at a book club, if I'm hosting a play date, if I'm hosting a fundraiser at my kids' school, it all is pouring into my community and my sphere and getting in front of them and being the first person that they think of then when they think of a realtor, because I'm just that realtor that they also have the relationship with at the school and in the friend group and at the book club. And so that has honestly led to much of my successes being in 3 book clubs and the different business I gained from attending book club, drinking wine with my friends, and then them telling me about a friend they know who's looking to buy or sell, or many people that are in my friend group as well.
What I love about what both of you are saying is it's about creating a sense of community and being engaged with your community. Bridget, you've got mostly offline community that you engage with online. Taley, you've got mostly online community that you engage with offline. It's really about connecting with people. And that's what you're doing. I think if I heard correctly, Bridget, you said you've not read any of the books as part of the book club. Is that right?
That is 100% correct.
Yeah. So, but it's about connecting and just being a part of it. My wife ran a book club for 3 years, and most of the ladies didn't read the book, but they enjoyed hanging around and chatting about it. So it makes a lot of sense. All right. So let's talk about, Taley, let's go to you. Let's talk about specific tactics now. So we're going to go and really try to connect with people and engage and provide value to them when they need our real estate advice. So what do you do?
So I think the very first thing you need to do is figure out who exactly you want to connect with, right? Because if you are online and you're talking to everyone, then you're really not talking to anyone. So for me, my 2 target audiences are people who want to buy and sell that are in the military, because we are a military family and that is very authentic to me. So that looks like me talking about how to use your VA loan, how to invest as an active duty military member, how to have a permanent change of station that is kind of smooth and not very bumpy, because we've been there and done that. But I also really like to target real estate agents, because I 100% realize that it's not just about interacting with people who can hire you. It's about interacting with people who can send you someone that will hire you. So I also put out content that is very helpful for real estate agents. What has happened over the last couple of years is that people want to know how I've used social media to grow. So I put out content that helps them learn and grow too. And I also put them in my database. So the key is to put the information online and figure out a way to get those people who are interacting with you online into your database so that you can stay in touch with them easier. And I use Command for that, and it's really great. I have a few different landing pages that I made through Command that you can find on my social media. It easily allows people to enter their information in, and I will send that landing page to people when we connect so that I can keep them in my database and tag them accordingly, and then continue the conversation outside of the social media platform that we met on.
All right, so you're providing value. It's military, so walking your military families through the process of what they can do and how they can create home ownership in an environment that they're moving around a lot and doing a lot of different things. And then you're getting a lot of referrals. So providing value to agents. When you provide value, you get stuff back. Bridget, what are some of your tactics? What are you doing? Because you were in sales before, so I imagine you had some stuff that transferred over for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a few different things. When I started and I was kind of like, okay, where do I begin? I made a list of everyone in my network that I thought should be buying or selling or might be buying or selling like in the upcoming weeks, months. And I made it a point to, grab coffee, and maybe those were the people we were having over for dinner on Friday night, or the play date that I'm going to, like, once again, just aligning my work and life together. And getting in front of those relationships that I thought could, possibly lead to helping educate them on buying or selling. A lot of them, they wanted to maybe move or get a larger home for their growing family or stop renting that apartment, but they just needed someone to almost like grab their hand and lead them there. So people want to do business with people that they like and they trust. So I just always try to be that person for my sphere, for my network, and the people who are coming to me with any questions, bringing it down baseline, like, let's just start from the beginning on how we can get you to your next home.
It seems like you're doing a really good job of just paying attention to what's happening to the people you know. Is that right? You're just trying to pay attention and then be there when they need a resource?
Yeah, and it's not just being there when you think they're going to buy and sell. It's dropping off the meal when they have a baby, or hearing that they're having a hard time and writing, just a card. Or I think that's what sometimes can get lost in this business, is that level of like still being genuine and leading with the care and kindness instead of trying to just get the business. So that's what I would always recommend to someone. You're doing these things for people in your sphere, and it'll all come probably back to you with the real estate, but leading with that authenticity and genuine kindness.
If I remember correctly, you shared a story at Family Reunion of someone who had posted on Facebook that they were expecting. And so you said, all right, that's who we're going to connect with next. Like, we're going to call them and be purposeful about congratulating them and then spend some time to hang out with them. Is that right?
Yeah, I would say that I'm extremely intentional and purposeful with who I'm spending my time with. They say your network is your net worth. And like I said, I just want to, as much as I can, align business and pleasure. And then I also had a story that I think maybe some people can relate to, where before I became a realtor and I had a baby, I got a card in the mail, and it was on this, brokerage stationery, and it was from someone I hadn't talked to in probably 20 years, like since freshman year of high school. And it was like, congrats on the baby, Krista. And I was just like, I don't know, the way it made me feel, I was like, wow, she's sending me this card on her like realtor stationery. I haven't heard from her in years. Like, all I could have really used is like a text from her saying like, hey, saw you just had a baby. Congratulations on your growing family. Or a handwritten note that wasn't on her realtor stationery, just because I could feel right away what the goal of the card was. And it wasn't to really congratulate me on the baby, if that makes sense.
It makes total sense. I've had Brittany Hodak on. I don't know if you ladies know Brittany Hodak. You need to know Brittany Hodak. She wrote this book, Superfans. And I've interviewed her a bunch as part of both in Pivot Shift Ahead and part of my Inspire Mastermind group. And one thing I remember Brittany always says is, if it has your logo on it, it's marketing. Like, it's not a gift. It's not a personal note to reach out and congratulate for having a baby. It's a piece of marketing if your logo is on it and you're backing that up. This person who you hadn't talked to in a while. By the way, it'd have been totally awesome to hear from her if you hadn't heard from her since high school. She's paying attention to what's happening to your world. But like I said, a text or a non-branded card or a, you know, a Facebook message or something would have played totally different. Is that what you're saying?
100%. Like, lead with just being the nice person and that you care, you know, for whatever action, you know, the congratulations or whatever. And then I might say, oh my gosh, Krista, I haven't thought of her in a while. That was so nice of her. Go to her Facebook, see she's a realtor. And now who is the first person I'll be thinking of? Yep. Is Krista when I need to refer someone to someone. So that would be my biggest advice.
Really smart. Okay, Taley, I want you to talk about some tactics. Give people some ways to improve their outreach, because so many of us, we don't want to bother, we don't want to annoy, we don't want to put out content that we think is not very good, so we don't put anything out at all. What are some things they can do to get better at their outreach?
Well, the first thing I would say is that I think a big part of it is mindset. You know, I think a lot of us criticize ourselves really a lot harder than other people would criticize us. I think putting out content is better than not putting out content, even if your content isn't the greatest. If you are trying to put out content and you do want it to be great, then you need to make sure that you're doing a few things. One, you need to have a clear and concise brand. If you know me, if you follow me, then you will know that pink is my brand color. My shirt is pink. My light back here is pink. The chair that I'm sitting in is pink, and everything that I post online has a little bit of pink in it. And what that does is subconsciously allow people to remember you when they see that color. I have clients all the time, and just people online in general who will, I guess, go shopping online and see like a pink outfit and say, I thought about you because I thought you would love this outfit. So anytime they see that color, they're going to think of me, which is what I want. I want people to always think of me, and they'll remember that's Taley's branding color. You know, she's in real estate. Two, I think that you need to make sure that somewhere on every social media profile that you have, there are two things. One, your contact information and what area you serve, a really clear picture of who you are, what you do, and how you provide value. And another thing you need to do is have like an all-inclusive link where somebody can click that link and find you everywhere else on the internet. And those things are going to make you really accessible, which is important in a day and age where we want things right now. If people have to think too much about how they can reach out to you, then they won't. They'll just find someone that is easier to reach out to. And just remember that nobody thinks about you as much as you think about you. If you have a video or a photo that you want to put out that is answering questions that people have about real estate and you feel that it is providing value, don't overthink it. Just post it, because chances are you're going to think about it way more than the person who's seeing it is thinking about it.
I like it. I heard somebody say once, the way they know what to post in social media is whatever question a client has asked them that day. If their clients asked them a question about something in the market, buyer, seller, or otherwise, they go, there's more people that want to know that. And they'll just pop on and do, hey, I'm working with the seller right now. They asked me this and blah, blah, blah. So I like it. Bridget, what advice would you give to somebody that wants to improve their outreach?
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that I've learned so much from Taley is, like, I don't provide enough value in like information with my social media to my clients. The way that I portray myself is I'm just always trying to show like really fun homes and really cool homes. So they're like, oh yeah, Bridget was like just at that house. And oh, you know, that's how they think of me as a realtor with my, I call it Cribs with Bridge. So it's kind of just like fun and in some of the cool listings that are around the area. But I definitely want to start doing more of that, you know, VA loan knowledge, like Taley spreads and things like that. But I would say, once again, just being very intentional and in your contact, and I think rewarding your referral base and your biggest cheerleaders. So there's people in my network who are constantly connecting me with other people, constantly putting me on a text message, all of that. I think just like always sending a handwritten note, thanking them, rewarding them, a gift. You know, they say that love don't cost a thing. I think it does a little bit. You know, people people love to know that you really appreciate them, and finding the people in your network that are your cheerleaders and your advocates, and like just continuing to show them your appreciation.
I love it. Okay, so Bridget, last question for you, and Taley, I'll ask you the same one. Now that you reflect on your almost, I guess, 3 years just about for each of you, and you've had great success, there isn't any doubt about it. You've had amazing starts to your career. What's the one thing you know now that you wish you knew when you started, Bridget?
I think that in the beginning it was so hard, and I wasn't celebrating the wins as much. And especially in this market, you can get down. I mean, I spent all weekend on offers and I have nothing to show for it today. And so what I always am trying to do is celebrate the losses, the wins, stop, look back and say, where am I at with my goals? And like my husband tells it best that when I first started, I spent all day, all weekend on my offer. It got rejected. It was the first offer I ever wrote. And we went out and we celebrated getting the rejected offer. And maybe you just celebrate that you wrote an offer on a house in a budget that you never thought you'd write an offer on. I think that you can get worn down pretty quickly in this job. And so you just always have to, make sure that you're in a good spot and celebrate the wins and celebrate the losses as well.
Oh, that's great advice. Taley, what's your advice?
I think for me, if I could go back 3 years ago and tell myself anything, I think I would just remind myself that it is possible. I remember for the first several months of having my license, applying for jobs because I was so scared that I would not be able to make it. I was a brand new mom. I had no support system around me, no childcare. I didn't know anyone, and I was just terrified that I would fail. And my goal was to sell 10 houses in my first year. My goal was to make my husband's salary. And I look back and I still to this day, doubt being able to hit certain goals that I make for myself, and having mindset issues, can I do this? Can I accomplish this? So I think what I would remind myself 3 years ago is the same thing that I have to tell myself every day. You absolutely can be successful. It is possible. You just have to put the work in and be consistent. So even when you feel like all the things that you're doing are not amounting to anything, if you really look back at it, there are things that you have to show for the work and the time and the effort that you're putting in. And if you just keep pushing forward, you will make it.
Listen, you all have given great advice. Connect with your community, whatever that is. We have an example of an online. Oh, that's for me. Somebody ever pick that up? Might be an offer. Is that an offer coming in, Bridget? Is that you?
I forgot that when you silence your phone, it doesn't silence the computer. Yeah,
on the computer, but who knows? That could have been an offer coming in. I want you to get your money.
Maybe.
You have given us great ideas again on connecting with our communities, our offline communities, like Bridget said, or connecting with like Taley's doing with your online communities and making them bridge across. I love it all. This is great stuff, ladies. Congratulations! Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you all so much, and I'm just so honored that you would spend time with us today. And I'm honored you spend time here too. This is what Pivot is about. It's about helping you grow and get better. If you like stuff like this, by the way, you probably like my Inspire Collective Mastermind community, where we go much deeper. So we'll have agents on like this, but get the system step by step on what to do. We'll mastermind around the challenges and stuff that you're facing right now. So if you're interested in that, let me know, or go to jamesdshaw.com and we'll give you the info. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next time, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.